hop in, let's go. We can take it fast or slow. I'll let you choose the ride. Tell me yes or no. Enjoy the ride. Let's have the time of our life. Everything's going right, so sit back and vibe. Let's vibe. Let's vibe. Let's vibe. Let's vibe. Feel the vibe when you on the road. We can go anywhere that you wanna go. Whoa. You feel safe when you in the vibe. It's the best feeling that you ever felt. Don't lie. Now that you're telling me that, it caught me by surprise. We can ride in my Maybach and cruise all night, yeah. I know that you're feeling it, vibe just different. I can see you getting into it. I promise I ain't missing it. Ooh yeah, hop in, let's go. We can take it fast or slow. I'll let you choose the ride. Tell me yes or no. Enjoy the ride. Let's have the time of our life. Everything's going right, so sit back and vibe. Let's vibe. Let's vibe. Let's vibe. Let's vibe. Just vibing right with me. Hop inside, going full speed. What's up, what's up? I'm in my vibe right. My vibe right, my vibe right, my vibe right, my vibe right. Just gotta sit back and buckle up, yeah. Let's go to the beach and get some lunch, yeah. Whoa, cruising downtown, let's have fun now. We gon' ride together till the sundown. It's always a vibe with me when you ride with me, yeah. You like when I do my drifting. We gon' take over the whole city, yeah. Just vibing right with me. Hop inside, going full speed. What's up, what's up? I'm in my vibe right. My vibe right, my vibe right, my vibe right, my vibe right. Can we vibe out now and just cruise? Take my time, nothing to lose. You know it's perfect timing, no worry. So let's hop in that vibe and let's ride. Let's ride. Just vibe with me. Hop inside, going full speed. Full speed. What's up, what's up? I'm in my vibe right. 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 My vibe Got a whole lot of race. Choose your right. Got a whole lot of race. Choose your right. Got a whole lot of race. Choose your right. Got a whole lot of race. Choose your right. Choose your vibe and ride for the night. Feeling excited, I'm living my life. On the road, I just go. I might go shopping, I just might go home. Hop in the whip and I'm all in my zone. Know that it came from a touch of a phone. No, we just different, you can't make a clone. I choose my vibe so nothing can go wrong. Got a whole lot of race. Choose your right. Got a whole lot of race. Choose your right. Got a whole lot of race. Choose your right. Got a whole lot of race. Choose your right, yeah. I wanna vibe, I can choose, yeah. I only win, I don't lose, yeah. Pedal to the metal, then I cruise, yeah. Listen, it's just what I do, yeah. I'm loving this vibe, yeah. I'ma live it up for life. I'ma choose what I like, yeah. Right now, I made up my mind. Let's go. Got a whole lot of race. Choose your right. Got a whole lot of race. Choose your right. Got a whole lot of race. Choose your right. Got a whole lot of race. Choose your right. Choose your vibe and ride for the night. Feeling excited, I'm living my life. No, we just different, you can't make a clone.
You know, I'm a DJ, right? You should know this.
Choose your right. Got a whole lot of race. Choose your right. Got a whole lot of race. Choose your right. Got a whole lot of race. Choose your right. Got a whole lot of race. Choose your right.
You know the vibes.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Vibe Rides. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Scott Bachland, and I just want to welcome everybody here. If you're a first-time person just dialing in for the first time to watch us, thank you for tuning in. And if you're one of our drivers and you've been with us over the last few weeks as we've done the training series, thanks for coming back in. I'm going to turn on my chat here this morning. And as I just go, give me a shout out. Let's see where people see where our drivers are at today. But if you're driving, don't text. Just keep driving, and we'll get you maybe next time. But thanks again for tuning in. This when we do our presentations, our focus at Vibe Rides, and this is just the drivers. This is a special deal that we do just for you, for the drivers. You can see as I've upgraded my background since the last time we got together. We've got the Vibe vehicle there in the background. So thanks to Mark and our marketing department for putting some of these together for us. So we've got virtual backgrounds now for Vibe Rides. So a lot of fun stuff going on here. A lot of fun stuff going on. So before we get started in today, I just want to make a couple comments. We did launch last week. And one of the things that's really unique, and you've heard me talk about over the last few weeks, that we always say Vibe Rides is just different. And one thing that's really different, that's been really fun, that I've really enjoyed, is over the last few weeks, the last 2 to 3 weeks, I really love the emerging relationship that's going on between Vibe Rides and the corporate side and our drivers out there. I'll call in the field for our drivers out there. And this is why I say that. We launched on Wednesday last week. We had a few technical issues with our software, which happens in any company that launches. But what I really liked about it was the attitude of the drivers that were out there. The attitude of the drivers was, hey, hey, Vibe Rides, hey, corporate Vibe Rides, I think something may not be working correctly. Here's what I see. Here's what's not working correctly. Let me shoot you a screenshot. Let me help you out. And to me, that emerging relationship of trust, between us and the people and the drivers out there, I think is really key. It's really key. We appreciate that. We really appreciate your input. We do the best that we can do here every day. And we realize we had a few glitches last week and over the weekend. Our IT team and Angela has spent a lot of time working on those, and we're very confident of what we've got going on right now. But I love, like I said, I love the relationship. I love the trust. I love the attitude of you, the drivers out there, and how you approached and came back to us. There was no one that got up and screamed and yelled. Everybody just said, let's help. Let's make this successful. We know this is just different. It's a cool concept. I want to be part of it. So I just want to say a big thank you to all of our drivers for being patient with us. I know these things are going to come up. Things always happen. You're dealing in the software industry and with apps. Stuff always happens, but we appreciate your willingness to help, your openness, and just your attitude and sharing. So I just want to say to all the drivers out there, thank you very much. So with that, Angela, why don't we get on to our presentation for today?
All righty. Let's share my screen here. Can you see it?
I can see it. Thank you, Angela.
Great.
So again, we do this just for you, the drivers. We're always just focused here on drivers. Also, we have some Spanish-speaking drivers. So if you're Spanish-speaking, you probably know the Zoom line number by this time. We just put it up there again. And the next slide, please, Angela.
Okay. Make sure I know what I'm doing here.
Oh, you know what you're doing. We know you know what you're doing. Okay, our disclaimer. And again, we put this disclaimer up here because at times we do talk about some financial numbers. We talk about some projections, and we just want to let you know we're not making any guarantees. Everything about how much money you can earn at Vibe Rides is all going to be based on your skill level and your commitment level. Okay, next slide, please, Angela. Okay, so part of our, I'll call it, weekly session that we're going to do here is we're going to always go through a software feature update. So from that standpoint is we're going to let you know like what's new. I mentioned that we had some issues and some challenges over the weekend last week. Angela's going to do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it over to Angela. And as you probably know by now, and if you've been on the call with us, Angela is our Director of Business Development, and she is very talented at going through and training on our app on both the driver and the rider side, and also works very closely in tandem with our IT department as different features are released to make sure that they're working in the way that we want them to work. So she's got a lot of great information to go over today. So with that, Angela, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Scott. And I like your shirt, but I like your background too. So I spent the morning talking to our customer amazement director, Frederick Brim. And I said, can you help me out with this background stuff? And he's like, sure. So I get on and all of a sudden I get a message. I needed to upgrade something version on my Mac. And I said, you know what? I don't think I'm going to do that now. It'll probably take me an hour. So, but I'm going to get me a background like that. That's pretty cool. Okay. So features, yay. Software feature update. I get so excited. And I totally agree. And thank you for mentioning that, Scott, in regards to all those individuals that are sending in messages and letting us know what's happening out in the field. And, so that we can take a look at the app and see what's happening. And that's why we have feature updates as well. We do our feature updates on a regular basis, but getting that input from the field, kudos to all the road warriors out there and all our family. We appreciate you very much in regards to that. Okay, so let's go to the next screen and we'll go through some of the features that were updated. Okay, so I've got notes here just to make sure I give you all the details I possibly can. So push notifications for the driver pickup location. So both push notification for driver pickup and drop off, you now get a message because you may arrive to the location a lot sooner. So you'll get a push notification, saying you've arrived, because sometimes, just like myself, GPS, I need GPS. And sometimes I still sometimes don't know exactly where I'm at. Don't judge me, okay? So this notification will let you know if you arrive to a location sooner. Boom, it'll send you a notification with the pickup as well as a drop off. And the push notification also happens on the rider side. So they'll get a push notification as well if you've arrived earlier, and then if they've gotten to the location a lot sooner than the time lapse, you'll get a notification as well. In regards to navigation, so there is some lag when picking a navigation. So it depends. You were going Google Maps, you may have been using Waze, and every time you clicked on it, it would lag. So, meaning it would think. So you'd get that constant thinking, and then it would propagate. So that's been fixed. But now remember, that may still be happening out there, but it may not be the app itself. So what happens is if your phone is an older phone, or your memory maybe is not at the highest bandwidth that you need, you may still be getting that challenge of a lag. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's the app. Okay, so I just wanted to let you know that. Driver processing. So we've got some information out from the field from all the rides and all the drives that we did. And we had drivers send in some information regarding the receipts and their totals in the back of the app. So every time you have a ride, it would show you the receipt and the details and totals of all of those rides that you did. Well, what was happening is the receipt would come up, all the details would be there, but for some reason the totals were not coming up. So we've got that fixed. And if not, I know for a fact that all these updates are still pushing through. So give it to the end of the day to make sure, and to keep doing what you always do with the over-the-air updates. Keep doing that. Close your app, open your app, or delete your app and download it again, just to make sure you're up to date. And you should be able to see that in the back of the app. Navigation setting and driver profile. So what we're going to be doing in the very near future, instead of the app showing you your navigation choices, once you open the app, we're going to have it in the settings. So we need some time to program that. But yes, we've listened to the field. We understand you. We appreciate you. And we wanted to give that back to you so that you can operate as efficiently as possible out there and service all these riders that we're getting. So the navigation tab will be in your settings. You can actually change it. That will be your default setting. You can always go back in case a rider says, hey, I don't like Google Maps. Can you use Waze? Or I don't like Waze. Can you use Google Maps? They may. You'd be able to go into your profile and change that navigation right then and there. Rider custom tips. It's under the Rider app, but it benefits you. Of course, if you're going to give great service, as I know you're going to, you're a Vibe driver. You're going to, right? You are now able to they are now able to give you a custom tip. So how it's programmed now, there's dollars, there's 1, 2, and 5 that they can give you after they pay. They can add that tip, but now we've added a custom tips section where they can give you more if they'd like. And that's great too. Okay, rider pre-authorization for payment information. So what was happening is we had all these rides out there, and a lot of the riders were downloading the app and they were getting some error messages. The error messages weren't very detailed. And so what we're doing now is we're doing a pre-authorization for the payment. So no matter what, that pre-auth gives them all the information they need and move on to the next step. So we make sure that all the payments go through once the ride is done. So we wanted to make sure we updated that. We got the information and we did an update on that. Let's see, the bottom part I can't see. There's a screen. Okay. Rider can delete payment options. Okay, so the rider can now delete payment options. So in the back of their app, And if they ask you, right, because this is an education for you, so you can help them out if they have questions, you've got answers. They can now delete any option. So if they put in their credit card and maybe it expired or there was a challenge with that card, they can delete that card now, add and delete. So that option has been put into the system now as well. Let's see. Okay. But before we go on, I just want to add something. Let's see here. Quick update in regard to new inspection forms. So before I go into this section, I wanted to let everyone know we've updated the 19-point inspection form. The reason why we did that, again, we listened and we wanted to make sure we give you the best opportunity possible out there. So now on the 19-point inspection at the bottom, it's not an ASE certified inspection shop or mechanic. It's now all you need to do is make sure that you go to a licensed mechanic or a licensed shop in order to do your 19-point inspection. And that tremendously broadened your opportunities to get a really great deal in regards to your inspections. So you shouldn't be paying a lot of money at all. I heard, and this is from drivers out in the field, they're running from $7 up to $20. Some people, some shops, it depends on the shop, right? It's like you're a business owner. Your margins and your revenue has nothing to do with any other shops. That's up to the business owner. So in order for them to make money, they may have to increase their fees a little more than any other shop. So that's just how business works. But you shouldn't be paying more than $35. So you've got a large range now out there. So make sure you're not paying more than $35. Be patient. Get more than one quote. It's like anything. You don't go to, you don't go to the first store and pay that price if you looked at a couple other places, you may get a better deal. So just be savvy and be patient. Don't always go to the first shop. Make sure you take a look at other shops and then base your decision on that. Okay. Now we can talk about the current application for those individuals, because we are, again, remember we've talked about it before, over the air updates. This is going to tell you what version you're on. And the first thing you're going to do before you pull the alarm or you start calling on your friends or going crazy, my app's not working, you need to check to make sure you've got the current version. And this is how you're going to do that. So if you're a driver, the current version, you click on your menu, which is the bottom right. See these three little lines? You click on that. Once you do that, what happens is your menu will pop up. And if you look at the bottom left of that menu, you'll see version 31. So right now, everyone, make sure you check to see that you have your most up-to-date version currently is 31. But I also want you to know that we will most definitely let you know the next version every time we update. So it may change. As long as you have the minimum of version 31, you're currently up to date right now. But we always update. We may update hourly. I know there's an update going through today. So we'll most definitely be at 32 in the very near future. So just be aware of that, okay? And now, because we love customer service and we want to help out our riders, this is the same thing for them. If they ask and they may have glitches while they're in the car with you, or they have questions and if you may know some riders, right? You tell them to go to the top left. Their menu bar is on the top left right here. So there's three lines there again. They click on that and that will bring up the menu. And once they see that menu, go to the bottom left again, their version is 43. So the rider version at this point in time is 43. Now remember, we're pushing through updates constantly. So it may go to 44, but up to today, at this moment, make sure your riders or anyone you know who's a rider is at version 43. Okay? All right, service areas. Everybody's been talking about service area, and it's really, really exciting to see these maps because I love to see all those dots because all the riders out there. And so what we're going to show you is the service areas for all our regions, and that'll give you a visual aid to see where the regions are at this point, okay? So let's see. Let's check out these maps. Okay, cool. Isn't this the coolest thing? I think it's beautiful. Maybe it's just me, but I think it's beautiful. So as you can see, this is the Harris County. But now remember, you can always Google Harris County. It'll tell you exactly what cities and areas are included in Harris County in Houston, Texas. So that's pretty simple. You can do that. You can Google that. We all know how to Google. So as you can see there, we've got this area up at the top, almost to the woodlands. So you're literally really close to the woodlands. You're not that far away. Even though it seems far on the map, it's not. You're definitely, spring is covered. So you're very close to the woodlands at the top. And then when it comes to the bottom, you're at Missouri City and you're very close to Sugarland, okay? I don't know if I said that right. Sugarland? I don't know. Anyways. Pearland, I used to say Pearland, but it's Pearland, I hear, I've been told. So it's very close to Pearland. And then you're definitely covered in Baytown. So all these areas are most definitely covered. But again, just also understand, if you ever go out of the service area, you're still good. You can have riders that may have a destination they're going to that's outside the service area. You're all good. You can drop them off. Nothing's going to happen. Down the road, which we're working on eventually, but not yet, tell everybody, not yet, we will have a notification for you eventually to let you know when you're out of the service area and when you're back in, but you don't need that right now. You are good. So you can drop them off and make sure you come back into this area. The reason why we give you a service area is because we want you to be as efficient as possible, right? Because that's the concentration of rides that we're getting. So, you know, as you can see, the drivers are in this area. They're kind of staying in this area for a reason. The concentration of rides are coming out of this specific area. So for you to be efficient, you need to kind of stay in that service area, okay? And so let's go to the next map. Okay, service area, Dallas, Fort Worth. All right. And Dallas, you guys are cranking it out there, and it's really exciting to see Dallas coming in. Fort Worth, there's some traffic over there, and it's awesome to see. But then again, here is the service area for Dallas Fort Worth. Same scenario, right? You can drop anyone out on the service area. You can be anywhere, but you want to be efficient. You can be dropping off someone, outside the service area. That's cool. But you also have to remember, you have to drive back in to get into that service area where we know, because that's what we want to do. We want to let you know, this is the area where all the rides seem to be coming from at this point. So to be efficient again, stay within that area, because that's where the rides are right now being called from, okay? But again, go out of the service area, come back in, you're good. You're good, so don't worry about that. All right, service area, Miami-Dade County. So Miami, service area is Miami-Dade. We know that already. But this will give you a better visual idea of exactly what we mean by Miami-Dade. So you can see it's almost at Hollywood, like you're literally right there at the cusp, right? And then you've got this whole area right here that you can service. So stay within this area. Now, again, you're going to be going out of that area. I don't know if you're going to go to a preserve, but if you are, that's fine. Maybe someone's going hiking. That's all cool. But stay within this area here, okay? And just to be more efficient, and because that's what we're telling you is most rides are being called out of this area right here, okay? And then we've got service area Fort Lauderdale, which includes Broward County. So this is Broward County, right? This area right here. Just to let you know, you know, if you can Google Broward County, it'll tell you exactly what areas that we're servicing at this point. So stay within that area to be efficient. But then again, you know, Boca Raton is really close. If you drive outside that area, don't worry, you're all good. Just come back in and stay close by so you can pick up some rides. All right. And then we've got Tampa. So again, I got a little lesson from our CEO in regard to Tampa. I've never been there, and I wanted to get some information because I was curious. You know, I was curious about, you know, St. Petersburg and what is this here? Why is it, you know, is there a bridge and all that? So I was curious about that. So he explained the Tampa area to me and in regard to St. Petersburg. So our service area is in this area because that is where we are getting most of our requests for rides from. And that's why we're you know, showing you this shaded blue area. But people go to St. Petersburg, and you know what? I've never been, but I've been told, you know, by the experts that, you know, there's a bridge and it's really, really close. Again, if you're going to St. Petersburg to drop off, cool, but come on back, you know, because we're servicing people here, yes, but not as frequently as in this area. So you want to stay within that area for sure. Okay. All right, Orlando, same thing, shaded blue area, stay within this area. I think I've been to Orlando. Yeah, I've been to Orlando. I've been to I don't even know if I'm gonna say that right. Don't judge me on this one again, Kissimmee. But anyways, and that's again, very close. You can drop off, just come back into this area. That's where you're gonna be getting most of our rides requests, okay? So make sure you do that. And then we're good. I think I did everything, but let's see if I have one more thing. I have some notes and I want to make sure I give you all that you need. Yes. All right. So I want to do a shout out real quick to all the drivers out there. We've got a lot of drivers, and we've got drivers that have been approved that haven't tested out their app yet. So if you're a driver that's been approved, get online. Okay. I know due to the COVID, a lot of drivers aren't driving and they're staying offline. That's cool. You be safe, you be well, you stay home. That's not a problem at all. But we want you to get online. The reason why we want you to get online is we want you to test your app to make sure you're good to go. So once that you're ready to take rides, we want to make sure your app is up to date. You've downloaded the most current one. You have no challenges or issues with any messages. It could be isolated. It could be your phone. So we want to make sure you're ready. So if you're a driver and you haven't been online yet, please get online. All you have to do is go do it once, get online, check your app, make sure you're good to go. If you know of drivers who've been approved who haven't been online yet because they don't want to drive right now, that's fine too. But just let them know, spread the word, warriors, let the world know, those drivers that haven't been online yet, just get online, check everything out, and then we can help you out if there's any challenges or issues. And then you can get riding and driving or both right away. Okay, Scott, that's all I got for today.
Great, thank you, Angela. And just so you drivers know, Angela is the biggest advocate for you to make sure that everything is working correctly. She puts a lot of time into making sure the apps are working correctly, putting together these presentations to make sure that everybody's up to speed and gets trained properly on what they need to do. You know, Angela brought up a really good item today is look for that version number on your phone. Okay, that version number down the left-hand corner that Angela showed you. Before you call our customer amazement department, make sure you're on the current version. And Angela, what were those two versions again? What was the driver's current version that they should be on?
The driver's current version is 31. And
31.
Yeah. And the rider's current version is 43. Now that may go up by one because again, between today and tomorrow, updates keep going through. So remember, over-the-air updates, open and close your app and you'll get the most recent version. Right now, currently, as we stand, and as you all are staring at your phones, it's 31 for the driver and 43 for the rider.
Awesome. Thanks, Angela. Okay, I'm going to test your abilities here on Zoom to actually put me back on the camera. Can you do that? Put me back on the screen?
Yes. Hold on.
We're taking a halftime here. This is like halftime before we get to driver recognition.
Let's see here. Let me know if I'm doing this correctly. I need to. Wait a minute.
You just need to stop sharing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay. So, Angela, I just realized what we need to do right now. You know what that is?
Dun, 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 dun.
So here's what we got. If you remember from our prior meetings, we said in the month of April, our marketing and branding partner, iBoomerang, was giving us a special promotion to encourage riders to use Vibe Rides. And part of that, if you remember, that we were picking one person each week in the month of April, and that rider was going to win a 4-day, 3-night, all expenses paid trip to Cancun. Woohoo! And they only have to, at that point in time, they only have to pay for the airfare. That's a heck of a deal. So we're going to right now reach into the magic ball. It's here. We reached the magic ball. So Fred Brim, our customer amazement director, he actually went through today and did the random drawing himself. So, are we ready for this? Drum roll.
Dun, 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 dun. No, that's not it.
There's the drum roll. And Angela, do you know who the rider is that won this week?
I do not.
Of course, because I have it here. So,
yes. Oh, is that trick question? Thanks, Scott. No, Frederick sent it to you and he didn't send it to me.
Okay, our winner this week, our rider winner in Vibe Rides is Shamika Douglas.
Yay!
Congratulations, Shamika.
Awesome. I do want to make sure to let everyone know all the details, but airfare is not included. Airfare is not included.
Oh, yes, airfare is not included. I apologize if I stated that incorrectly.
No, but I mean, that's a phenomenal deal. Everything included except airfare. All you have to do is get there. That's amazing.
Yep. So Shamika, we'll be reaching out to you and let you know all of the specifics. And we're going to move on to back to driver recognition. So Angela, we've got to have you pop this back up on the screen, the slides.
Okay.
So for all of our riders out there, we've always said that we want to do things different, and we want to do a driver recognition. And for the driver recognition is we're coming up and looking at some recognition programs designed especially for you, the drivers. So, Angela, let's click to the next slide. Here we go. We have got, from our recognition, we've got three categories. And Angela, do you like that Vibe Rides Formula One car?
I mean, that is the coolest ever.
Isn't that neat?
Now that's a sweet ride.
That's a sweet ride. So our first recognition contest is we're calling it the Monaco Grand Prix. And the Monaco Grand Prix is going to be focused on the number of trips a driver makes. Number of trips. So that's going to be a little bit of a contest that we're going to talk about weekly. Who's our Grand Prix, our Monaco Grand Prix top 3 drivers for the week, and that's going to be the number of trips they take. We're going to have a little bit of a weekly contest. We're going to have it as a monthly contest. It's going to be a quarterly and an annual. So we're going to build it up starting from April 1st all the way around until March 31st next year. And we're going to be doing that weekly, monthly, quarterly. And there's going to be, yes, the recognition also comes with some awards. I'm not ready to share the awards yet, but the Monaco Grand Prix, that recognition will be based on trips taken. So what's your thoughts on that, Angela?
I think that's phenomenal idea. That's exciting. I'm excited. I'm going to start
That would be
driving.
fun.
I'm going to get out there.
No, you can't. We got to have you in the office. Then our next recognition, we're going to call it Le Mans, the Le Mans. Le Mans is that 24-hour drive. And Le Mans is over a great distance. So we're going to have the Le Mans recognition based on total miles driven. Total miles driven. So different than the Monaco Grand Prix. The Le Mans is going to be who's logging the most miles. And we're also going to do that on a weekly basis. Hang on, I'm playing around with my screen here, so I apologize. We're going to do that on a weekly basis. We're going to do that on a monthly basis, quarterly, and annual. So we've got the Le Mans recognition is going to be based on who is driving the most miles. That's going to be someone that's logging a lot of time in their car, in their seat. That's going to be an exciting one. So what do you think about that one, Angela?
I think that's really great too. We have many hardworking individuals out there, and I think they're going to really, we're going to be able to share our appreciation for their hard work, and I think it's a great idea for that. Great idea.
Okay,
I can name two names right now. Yeah. I'm sure they're geared up for this one.
Oh yeah. Now the last one we're calling pole position. And everybody knows in any type of race, the person that gets the pole position is probably the best driver, the best person out there. So we don't have all of this, the pole position figured out yet, but here's what we're going to do. And for the pole position, this is going to be a combination of drives that you've completed, miles that you've driven. It's also going to factor in your ratings, what the customers are saying your ratings. So the pole position it just doesn't make sense if you're driving a lot of trips or driving a lot of miles. We also want to have your ratings in there, and then we're also going to factor in there also your own the earnings. So this is going to be a combination of everything. For the pole position, this will be a recognition that we're going to do once a month. This would be a once a month recognition for the pole position. And of course, also we're going to have an annual pole position award also. So I think you heard me say before many times, and when Mr. Bugs was on the line, also our CEO, we said we wanted to be just different at Vibe Rides. So we're going to have some fun recognitions here on a weekly basis with you, the drivers. It'll be fun to get on so you can hear who is the winner of the Monaco Grand Prix. We're going to be announcing the top 3 places, who's the winner of the Le Mans, and then once a month, we're going to be telling you who those top 3 winners are for the pole position. And coming up here in the weeks ahead, we'll tell you what the recognition award is going to be at the same time. So do you think that sounds like fun, Angela?
That sounds really great. This is that's us. That's our company. That's our CEO. That's our leadership. We want to show appreciation for those individuals who work hard for themselves, for us as a family, and absolutely any type of recognition like that's kudos, man. I love that.
Awesome. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, also want to talk about April promotions. We talked about these over the last couple of weeks. I just want to review them again. So let's jump to the next slide. Okay, the driver Vibe Gear promotion. So if you remember this one, this was complete 25 rides in April and get a Vibe Gear. Oops, I can't read it on my screen here. A Vibe Gear bundle. Okay, so almost $200 of Vibe Gear in this bundle. So Angela, I know you've seen most of these items that are there. What do you think about this promo for the drivers for the month of April?
Phenomenal. I mean, the product itself is just so classy, so cool. I mean, I want to wear it every day. I mean, I get so excited when new things come out. I want to be part of that. I think it's the coolest thing. Just the design of it, the quality of it is so great. Ladies, the tops are nice looking. They're not like, when you go shopping and you go to get a t-shirt and it's like, it's a guy t-shirt. Now, sometimes you want to wear a guy t-shirt. That's cool. If you're lounging around at home and you got a guy t-shirt on, cool. But these tops and sweaters and shirts and are so, they're ladylike, they're beautiful. I love them. Yeah, we did a great job marketing. Tundi, I mean, they did a phenomenal job in regards to all of our gear. So I'm very excited. I mean, everyone be very excited. This is a phenomenal bundle. Phenomenal bundle. You're gonna get some
So let's click on to the next slide, and we can take a look at everything that they're going to be receiving. So we got the thermos, we got polos, we've got t-shirts, caps. I mean, they're pretty cool. I've got my Vibe t-shirt on today, which is kind of close to the gray one there. It's only in black. I love it. These are great. And if you see, I've been wearing them most of the time that we're on here. So again, 25 rides. That's all for the month of April, which is, it's amazing. That was our CEO, Mr. Holton Buggs, came up with that promo when he did the launch on April 1st. Said almost $200 worth of gear in the Vibe Rides bundle. 25 rides is all it takes. Okay, let's hit the next slide. Also, the Vibe 5 driver promotion. Can't forget about this one. We talked about this. So for your initial 5 rides with Vibe Rides, the 5 drives you do, the initial 5 rides you give, the initial 5 drives you take, we're going to give you a $50 reward for completing those first 5 rides as long as you maintain a rating of 4.2. So, Angela, if you were a driver and you saw this, how long do you think it would take you to complete those 5 drives or 5 rides?
You know, committed drivers, anyone who's committed to doing a great job and is customer service orientated and wants to do well for themselves in this great, phenomenal opportunity, piece of cake.
Awesome.
They can get this, no problem. Absolutely. I think it's and what a reward. You're getting rewarded to do what you love to do out there. Bonus, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, $50 after those initial 5 rides, 5 drives. Okay, on to the next slide, please, Angela. Okay, it's just a reminder to everybody, we're going to be doing this call every Tuesday, going on Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Now, we've had a lot of changes going on with our software and updates, and Angela and I were talking this morning before we got on the call. And what we're going to do for the month of April is we're also going to get together with you on Thursdays. So Thursdays at 11. So for the month of April, and we just changed this. So Mark, you didn't make the slide wrong. This is exactly how I asked the slide to be. But on Thursdays, we're going to get together also just in the month of April to make sure that we're communicating to you, to make sure that everybody knows what version of the software that we're doing, to make sure you're up to speed in any updates.
Speaking of updates of the version, I got some great news, everybody. Just wanted to let everyone know that just got head of development team just sent me a text and let me know to let you know that the version for the driver is now at 33. So everyone, make sure your driver app has gotten the most recent over-the-air update, and we are at 33 right now.
Awesome. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So like I said, we're going to come back on Thursday, but we're only going to do this for the month of April. We'll be on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 o'clock during the month of April. Okay. And I think with the next slide, and I think we're just wrapping it up for the day. Again, our disclaimer that we talked about at the beginning, and that's it. Thanks everybody for tuning in today. On behalf of Angela and myself, thank you very much.